Hello, good evening, everyone. I'm so excited for this session tonight. For the first time, a transgender in the room, and she's from Belgium. She's a nice friend of mine. I think we met like 3 years ago or something like that. I was in a
Yeah,
bar.
it was,
Yes,
yeah,
right?
correct.
So
Yeah, it
we
was
start
an
talking and we never stopped talking and we just exchanged numbers and then we met again and then we hang out again, went out. Jenna is lots of fun, guys, and I'm pretty sure tonight's going to be the same. So, yes, would like to introduce yourself a little bit, Jenna, for them before they start with the
okay.
questions?
Okay, I'm Jenna. So, like she told, I'm transgender. I'm 51 years old. I live in Belgium, not far from Simona. We met and hustled in a LGBTQ cafe. It was a gay movie evening, so we were the only women over there at the moment. So it was a little strange, but I learned more about her, and she became a good friend, and that's how we met a little bit. So I will answer all the questions you have. You don't have to be shy. I'm very open to answer questions, and I think being open about being transgender and the questions people have helped to understand what I am and to make everybody happy. Actually, so I I just let it go at the no at the moment. To me, it's just I'm not. I had my voice is a little bit bad at the moment because I had an operation 4 weeks ago at my vocal cords. It's still healing, so but it's getting better. So fire off the questions.
Okay, thank you so much. I hesitated to book you. Like, I was wondering, like, oh, she's gonna cancel because she's still recovering. Should we just postpone your session? But she was really firm and she wanted to be here tonight. So, guys, let's go for it. If you don't have a question, I can start, or is anybody ready for a question yet? Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead. Jenna, can you please tell us how it was for you as a child in Belgium? Like your parents, for you to have that feeling. How
Yeah.
was it school in Belgium back then? Because you're 50 years old, I can imagine that back then was really tough. You didn't have anybody to talk to or somebody that you could connect with. Tell us a little bit about that.
So I'm an only child. So first of all, so I have no brothers or sisters to compare my feelings with. My parents moved to a little village outside where I live now, uh, outside the village. So it was also not in the center. So and there were no children of my age at that place when I was there. So it was me at school and then at home alone, actually. So it was very lonely for me, actually, to grow up because I only saw my friends at school. When I was young, about 3 or 4 years old, I started feeling that something was wrong. I didn't know what because Belgium, the Flemish part, is very conservative, and we never talked about sexuality. My parents never talked about sexuality. At school was not talked about sexuality or gender or those things. I think the first time I heard the word transgender, I was like 21 years old. So that was already for a long time of my period of life that I didn't know what was wrong with me. I thought everybody was thinking the same way and was confused about the sexuality each day of the life because every time I was went and it started actually with puberty mostly. When I went to puberty, it was like uh, when I get a beard and my voice went deep and those all those things with the masculine. I hated all those parts of my body's changes, and I was very inside myself. I couldn't connect with my people, and it was very difficult for me those periods to make connections with people. So, but Simona knows me as a totally different person than then because I was. now totally different. So I see some people have questions. So let's start with the questions, I would say.
Okay, thanks a lot for sharing, Jenna. Julian.
Hi, it's very nice to talk to you. So my question is based on what you've been talking about. I lived in France for a while, so that's my point of reference for this. And France is a weird place when it comes to these issues because it has very friendly laws, but not very friendly people about like,
Mm-hmm.
these kinds of things.
Friends, yeah, I know.
And so I was curious, is that what Belgium is like? Is it like, are there, friendly laws, but then the people are not? Is it opposite? Like, I'm curious about what it's like there.
Okay. First of all, you have to understand French. Belgium has two parts of the country, the French-speaking part and the Dutch-speaking part. The French-speaking are more open, they are more social, they're more con- accepting, they're more left-leaning. The Flemish people are more conservative and close-minded, and more difficult to connect to as people. Uh, so Belgium has good laws about LGBTQ laws. I saw an article this year. I think we were number one or number two at that point, but a lot of people of the Flemish people are right wing voters, but still they are not like the right wing in the USA. It's different about that. They accept me. I have not many problems as being transgender. Actually, there's only one person in my surroundings that makes a problem about that. It's a Moroccan guy. He is Muslim, but doesn't has to be with his religion because I have a lot of Muslim friends also and Moroccan friends also. So it's uh, just him. He has some problem with his personality. I think maybe he's transgender, maybe a homosexual himself, and he cannot cope with it because he's raised to be very conservative about that. But like I work also in the Netherlands, and I noticed that the Netherlands are more open to that point being transgender. Also at my company, they accepted everything what I was. I was a little bit afraid over there when I had to come out, but it went so well in the company. Everybody accepted it, and they even built some locker rooms with showers for me because I'm the only woman at the production floor now. So I had a
Okay.
different had to change my had to get a separate locker room, and they built a completely separate park. I have like two showers and big bow and a room for myself with a little makeup table, everything. So they did
Wow.
very well.
So you
I
work
hope
in
that
Maastricht now. Where do you
yeah,
work in the Netherlands?
yeah, Maastricht. I work in Maastricht already 20 years.
Yes. I'm just asking for them to know. So,
Yeah,
I don't know, so can you please share the screen? So she's from Maasmechelen and she works in Belgium and she works in the Netherlands, Maastricht. So you guys can see how far it is from one country to the other.
She lives in what the
I'm gonna put it on the
Maasmechelen,
chat.
hmm
Maasmechelen.
Maasmechelen. Is at the
Um,
border of the Netherlands, so it's about over here. It's good. Yeah, you're almost there. A little bit higher. Yeah, there it is. Can you zoom in a little bit more? Okay, I
yeah.
think
Let
yes.
me just copy here and oh
because you see already
yeah,
Maastricht, because it's a little bit bigger, but then, yes. And then I just put directions and then you see how far it is from Maastricht.
That's Maasmechelen. That's where I live.
let me just do something. Okay, here directions from here.
Yeah.
Copy the name, the other name here, Maastricht, Netherlands.
Yeah, Maastricht is it.
So you see, guys, how far it is? 20 minutes by car. She's in another country.
13
Actually, it's like
kilometers.
Yeah. Actually, I'm like in 5 minutes in another country. There's 20 kilometers of her work, so that's not very far. Uh,
Let me
uh,
put some pictures of the city that you were.
yeah.
What do you do, Jenna?
I'm assistant team lead now. I got promoted
Mhm.
after my transition. I was
Oh,
just a production
Mhm.
operator, so I got promoted just like 6 months after my transition. Already got promoted. Uh, it was a little bit strange because I always tried to get a promotion. I never was chosen. And after 6 months of transition, they said, "Okay, you are now very more open, you're more social, so we promote you." I was like, okay. I was like, that's good. So the company where we work, we make paint. We make glass paint for on car windows, bottles, glasses, perfume bottles, and all those things. So it's a very complex process, or if with chemicals and blast furnaces and those things, and millings and this very complex process. And I am assistant team lead, so I have about 30 people under me at the moment, and it's
Mhm.
nice.
What
okay.
is the name of this
Tell us the
this river,
city.
Jen?
Sorry,
Or
Jen, tell us
That's
the
the river
company.
Moss. The
The
company is
company.
Fenzi, the Fenzi,
Fancy.
F-E-N, yeah, Z-I,
Let me check here. F-A-N.
F-F-E van Eric, F-E-N,
Mm-hmm.
the Z,
Mm-hmm.
and an I. Sure, yeah,
Fancy.
yeah,
Fancy Belgium. Okay.
yeah. Belgium, Maastricht,
Uh,
actually. So,
let me see.
yeah, that is the company. Yeah.
Yeah, this one.
This one, the picture over here, you see the top from the
The
factory over
complex.
there. Yeah, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that's the complex where I work.
Wow, that's huge.
Uh, we are actually one of the biggest firms that in the world that produce that glass paint. Uh, we are Before that we were Johnson Matthey. We are just like 2 or 3 years now Fancy. Fancy is very specialized in glass, but they were more in the direct curvative, like mirrors in those glasses paint, and we are specialized in car industry. So we are now about 25% of the big company Fancy part of it. So,
Wow.
and we have about
Which
200
Congratulations.
people.
I think Linda knows about that because Linda also works her whole life with glass in the glass industry for cars. Linda, don't you have a question yet? Okay, let's wait. Let's wait. Dora,
Door.
please go ahead with your question. Linda's getting ready.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can
Yes?
hear you.
Okay, great. Hi. Um,
Hi,
it's very nice to talk to you.
thank
I've got a
you.
very kind of intimate question. I'm from Hungary.
Yeah.
I'm blind 8 years now, so I cannot see you. And
Oh,
I, I
I'm
met.
cute.
So I met with this word transgender a few
Yeah.
years just now. And I'm a little bit confused. So can you explain to me what does it mean exactly? Because here in Hungary, it's a bit quiet about this subject usually.
Yeah, no, because Orban is demonizing us as a community, also the gay people over there. So
Mm.
I think a lot of people get a lot of misinformation about us about that part.
Mm.
Uh, can you repeat the question so I can maybe
Can
explain?
you explain what does it mean, gender, if
For
I'm
me,
saying it right?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. How it is difficult to explain for every
Jenna?
yeah.
Jenna, I think that's for someone like Dora, like they hear transsexual, transgender,
Okay.
trans. Can you
Yeah.
please,
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I
okay,
will try
tell
to
her
explain
that?
a little bit difference about that. You have the transgender, transsexual. Those words are used intersexual, but actually the word is transgender. Transsexual is more used by the right wing to make us feel less human.
Mm,
The For me, being a transgender, uh, how I can explain that, because there's a feeling inside. Uh,
mm,
I, let me try to explain. Have you ever wear your shoes on the wrong foot?
yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
you
Yeah.
know how comfortable that is when you're walking with the shoes on your left and your right foot. That's
Especially
how
now when I'm blind.
yeah,
It
as a
happens.
transgender
Sorry.
person, as transgender
Yeah.
person,
Yeah. I
feel
do
inside
understand.
that our
Yeah.
sexuality, our gender doesn't
Mm-hmm.
say our body is not fitting. So if we switch the shoes, then it's like, okay, now feel everything correct. And that's a little bit how the feeling
Mm-hmm.
is.
So you so you felt you are not in the right body.
Yeah, that's difficult because you need to feel it to understand.
Mm-hmm.
Normal persons who everything is okay, they don't feel anything. Their body
Mm-hmm.
is what there is, and they don't feel any discomfort about that.
Mm,
You, it, and for every transgender, it is a little bit different. For me, it was not so difficult because when I was young, between like 3 and puberty, I was a little bit more neutral. I was not feeling female. I was not feeling male. From the moment I went into my puberty, then it's start hitting me, and because I didn't had anything to compare to, I didn't know something. It felt not right, but it was like, okay, I think everybody feels like that. So it was not thinking about it. Uh, but when I became older and older and older, it becomes more and nagging, and at the end you cannot stop it. It is becomes so overwhelming that you cannot stop it. Then the only thing you can do is suppress it or go with it. And I suppressed it for 46 years because I went in transition when I was 46 years. I tried to do the right thing, to be the right man, marry, have kids, and was married twice, by the way, twice, and both marriages failed because my partners felt that something was wrong.
mm,
And after I transitioned, my partners came to me and they say, "We knew, we knew that you are more woman than us." They felt I was the woman in the in the thing, and even I tried to be a man. So sorry, and you can suppress it, but it's you feel the people feel it that something is wrong, and that
mm.
feeling push people away from you without even noticing it. I hope it helped a little bit what I explained because it's a difficult feeling to explain.
Yeah, I do understand, and thank you very much because, um, well, I like to. I'm not running away. I like to get
Thank
information if I don't understand something. So that's what I ask you, and thank you very much for your answer. Thank you.
you. That's the right
Yes,
thing. If you don't understand, ask
Jenna,
questions.
just
Thank
to add a little bit what you said, I think it's important for them that they don't know you. Just to be clear, so Jenna is born male, so she had a name. What was your name when you were born?
Johnny. I'm half Italian, so I have an Italian name, Gianni, from Giovanni. So uh, I changed my name anyway, also to Jenna, but I kept my original name as my second name to honor my parents because they choose that name. Even my parents don't like it that I'm transgender. I still try to honor my parents and honor my
Oh, she got frozen. So I think it's getting a little bit clear now. So she's born male and she transitions to female. So that's why it's called transgender. There are people who are born in the wrong body, and it can be also girls who decides after a while. Decide is not the right way of saying it, but they feel that they are male. So after a while end up transition to the other gender. I hope she's gonna come back soon because you see, we lost her now. But I think for you it's a little bit clear now, Dora, what happens to her. And also the term transgender. Some people, they have operations or not. Like in her situation now, she got an operation to get rid of her
Oh,
ankle. Oh, you're back. Jenna, can you please tell us about your operation that you just had to change your
uh,
voice?
okay. uh, I had 4 weeks ago an operation to my vocal cords. Uh, I had normally I would have had it like in June, but when I was in June, I was at the operation table. They put me under, and they wake me up. They couldn't do the operation because the operation they tighten up the top of the vocal cords, and they couldn't do that operation. So I went from Genk to Ghent. There's two different cities, Genk, Ghent. It sounds the same, but it's different. And there was a different specialist with a different technique, and he did make my vocal cords thinner, so I get a higher voice. That operation succeeded, and it's now 4 weeks ago, but it will take about 6 months before my voice is completely like it should be. So it will take a little while. But I had a checkup this week, and they were very impressed that the progress already made. That I was very could talk clearly already. That they didn't expect those results in a month time.
Wow, that's great to hear. Great to hear. Okay, I think Dora got her answer. Now Renato has a question. Thank you, Dora.
Bye bye.
Oh, the mic.
The mic, your
Okay.
microphone.
Hi,
Okay, now you
Gina.
are there.
Okay.
Hey,
Have a good evening. It's
you
not
too.
it's not so easy for me to make questions for you because I think it's a different situation, but I think it's interesting know you better. Yeah. Let me know something. You feel attract during your life more for men, for women? Did you feel this difference between your young, during your
Okay,
when you was ready?
yeah,
Did
okay.
you
I
feel
think
this
I
difference?
understand the question. You want to know
Great
if
question, Renato. Great
I was
question.
attracted to women or men. I think you want to know that.
Yeah.
Uh, so I'm attracted to women. I was attracted to women when I was young. I'm attracted to women now. But something when I went in transition, uh, I also got attracted to men. Uh, I think that's not because I wasn't attracted to men when I was a boy, but becoming a woman, I could openly express it. So it was a little bit hidden in the back. Uh, I dated some men at the moment. Uh, I had inter sex with one few months ago, so that was different. That was the first
Yeah,
time for me. So uh, it was it was nice, but it was not serious. It was just for fun. So uh, maybe if I meet the right guy, it could connect. But for the main part, I like women more than men. So uh, and maybe it's because I was a man. That's the problem. For 46 years, I was a man, and I have seen a lot of bad
Hmm.
things by men, and I think it will put me a little bit off to trust men. And there are good men, I know that, but I think that has a little bit of a back problem for me for connecting to men. I
yeah.
hope that
And
helps.
I am asked that because I participate some groups in my place, and these groups join men and many women and women. And other day I made observation because in the group that you join, women, you feel a kind of sensitive that's not common for men. Okay, so some subject that you talk about, it's hard to understand how women are feeling. For us, man, I think that's very difficult. Yeah, I sometimes I don't get to understand how women thinks works. Yeah, so so I try.
I
I,
can
I no,
understand that.
I was honest with I was honest with the group. How I don't know. Sometimes I think that men have difficult to understand uh, women's thoughts. Yeah, but
Okay.
I think that because women are very sensitive about some aspect that men are not. Yeah,
Uh,
so I think
let,
this is a kind of thing.
let me try
Curious
something to
about
say.
you.
Let me something say. Uh, there is a difference how women connect to a partner and men connect to a partner. It's not in general. It's in general. It's not for every person the same. So let me say that further part. But women have first to have an emotional connection to a partner. Men needs a sexual connection first, and then the emotional connection comes. And there's the conflict between how men and women feel. So that's why a woman, if the relationship is not good, will go with another man, but man can go with a other woman, even they love their partner. And there's a little bit of conflict for that in that part. Uh, but you're right, it's difficult to because
Yeah,
like I was grew up like a man, and I was raised like a man. So and then when I once was a woman and I started go up with, they accept you totally different. The connection is totally different. It is, you have to experience to feel it.
I'm not so worried about the connection, the relationship. I think that I was guessing how my women minds work in terms of sensitivity. Yeah, because women seems to have a kind of perception that men don't have. Yeah, for some
Yeah, that,
situation. So
but
this is the thing that
I
make
think
me
that
sometimes make me confused because sometimes I try to understand how women are feeling, how was the difficult to understand, the men had difficult to understand certain feelings of women. So this is the aspect, not in terms of relationship. I can imagine
okay.
what
I think the problem is how people are raised. Boys and girls are raised differently. I don't think men are less sensitive, but they are raised to be less sensitive. They are raised to not show emotions. The way women are raised to show emotions and to connect to emotions. So they are more likely to seek emotions. I think a lot of problems is in the raising how we raise our kids at that point. But I don't think a man or a woman is less or more sensitive. The hormones play in part of it because now I'm using female hormones. I'm a little bit more emotional than I was when I was a man. So that's is also part, but a lot of part is how you're raised. I'm raised to be very logical, and I'm still very logical, even I'm a woman now. So I think it's difficult to see the parts where how you are raised and what part of your body is the or your mind is and I think the question you asked is a question every man and woman asked already for 10,000 years, and they still don't have a good answer for it.
okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Hey there. Hello.
Hello, hello,
Eh,
hello. Hello,
Hello, hello,
Jenna.
hello.
Nice to meet you. Hello, guys. Good night,
Hi.
good evening for Brazilian. So, Jenna, can you tell us about the little state, famous little state from Belgium? A boy peeing. It's very famous in Brussels, at least in Brussels. The mannequin keys. I don't know how to pronounce it in French. Adelio, could you help me
Mannequin.
looking for in Google mannequin from
Mannequin
Belgium?
in Brussels.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, mannequins. Yeah, mannequins. Mannequins. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
what do you want to know about that?
Well, so when in 2011, I went to Belgium. All right, I visited Brussels. I spent
Yeah.
there 2 days, and all the store sells this kind of the souvenir. Inclusive, I bought one souvenir because the team that I support here in Brazil adopted the statue, and they copy and they put on the statue in front of the building here in Brazil. All right.
Okay, I
The
I just got
mannequins
the
became
question.
the mannequin becomes a kind of the symbol. My team, football team,
Okay,
they adopted
that's
the mannequin also. Yeah,
okay. That's nice to
yeah.
hear. You know the history behind Monarchipis?
Mannequin
Yeah,
piece.
yeah,
Yeah,
It is
it's French.
a statue of pin. I
yeah,
found here. I gotta check.
yeah,
Mannequin
I gotta check.
yeah. You
Yeah,
don't understand the history what was behind it? Because
yeah,
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 that's the Monarchipis. Uh, the
yeah.
history is that
Mannequin.
Brussels was under siege by an enemy at the city walls, and they placed bombs by the city, and a small kid came over there and he pissed all the bombs out. That's the history why Monica Piss is the hero of the city.
Okay, we have to ask Linda if she agrees with that story.
I agree. I agree.
There is a copy. How I told you, there is a copy here in Brazil, in front of the building my football team. All right, they adopted mannequin piece kind of symbol.
Okay, Adenilson, let us see.
What is the name? Aider, your
Manequim,
soccer team.
manequinho do Botafogo. Please look for in Google. In Portuguese, of course.
Oh.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. I didn't know that.
That's copyright. We have to
Yeah.
sue you, Brazil.
It's my team. Yeah.
Nice. I
Yeah.
would just call it copyright.
Every week the guys change the shirt.
Yeah.
All right.
Same thing in Brussels.
This building
Same thing in
behind
Brussels.
it. Yeah. That's it. The building behind the statue is the building, Botafogo building.
The yellow building.
Yeah.
This one here.
Yeah.
Great.
I just knew about that. When I visited Brussels, and I need. Oh, mannequin! I thought mannequin was for Botafogo. I'm totally wrong. I was totally wrong.
I want
Aider.
to say something. Last week you were talking about how you learned yourself English and how difficult it was, but I was impressed how good your English was. So
Yeah.
Oh,
I was
thank
like,
you.
at your age, still learning. I was like, oh God, he learned so good English. Uh, because I have very difficult to learning languages. I'm dyslexic and I cannot write and on the good and then learning other languages for me is very difficult. So I tried to learn 10 years Arabic, but I just can say hello. That's all 10 years I learned.
Thank you.
Next
Okay,
question.
Linda is ready for her question. Belgium to Belgium. Let's see what's going to come.
Hello. Hello, Jenna.
Hello.
Hello. It's nice to see you so happy. Do you love to live in Belgium, or are you interested to live elsewhere, or are you a fan of Belgium, or you prefer either to live in the Netherlands because there is easier for a transgender, or
Okay. First, I love where I live. I love Maasmechelen. Uh,
mhm.
Maasmechelen. I don't. From where in Belgium are you? I can ask.
I'm from Genk. It's nearby.
Genk.
I live
Okay.
in Genk.
So
Yes, it's
yeah.
nearby.
So you know, Maasmechelen and Genk have the same
Yes.
history of the mines and the
Yes.
international community and a lot of different
Mhm.
nationalities. Like
Mhm.
Maasmechelen is like 80% of the children are mixed from mixed origin. So
Mhm.
like I'm also mixed. I'm half Italian, and the other half is Dutch and Belgium. And my father did the family tree, and it's like German, French, Spanish even in there. So we are very mixed origin. And I love to live because it's a little village. We have where I live. We have a movie theater. We have little shopping street. We have a lot of nature. Uh, if you want to know where I want to live in the Netherlands or Belgium, uh, for me it's the same actually. I think. Uh, but one of my dreams was when I was young was like to move to Australia or South Africa or Japan. You know that are the countries I would like to move or visit one time, is for the seeing how it is. And for the rest, I think the place where you live or you call your home is where you feel happy in the end, and the people around you make that your place. It's not so much the country, because it's just for me it's just the place where I live. It's other friends that make it important, like Simona, for example. If you have friends like that, you have great friends, and I have a lot of great friends. Like I was last month, I just 2 days after my operation, I was at a Moroccan wedding. I couldn't talk, so I was with my cell phone. Tick tick tick. Hello. Tick tick tick. Yes. I
Mhm.
go. So
Mhm.
and everyone was nice to me over there. Even they knew I was transgender because they knew that, and still it was a Moroccan marriage, and they were very nice people. Also, I was married to a Moroccan girl for 8 years, so I met her on Facebook, and she was from Morocco itself. So we were married for 8 years, and she's a lovely woman. We didn't have any children, but now she has two little kids, a boy and a girl. And sometimes she visits me and my parents still with the little kids. And it's nice to see that she has a little family now. So, and that we still have contact with each other. That's very nice, because also when I came out, was she like, yeah, you were the woman in the family. I was the boy. So I
Oh.
hope that answered your question.
Yes, yes, I agree. I love to live here as well, with all the different cultures. It's nice to live here in the region.
But if I
Yes,
choose
that's
would choose a
certain.
city, but I would choose a city for the living in, I would choose like a city like Maastricht or
Mhm.
Roermond. I would choose cities like, because they are very traditional buildings and very small cities, but very walkable and no high-rise building. They feel still human. Cities like
Mhm.
Brussels and Antwerp, I don't like those cities. For visiting, okay, but for living, I wouldn't live there. They are too big, too crowded. So I like
Mhm.
the smaller cities.
Okay, thank you very much, Jenna.
Uh,
Thank you.
Okay, Renato
thank-
is back. I would still like to hear Meg and Osman. Cavallo, if you get ready, please. We don't have that much time. Okay, Renato, go ahead.
Okay, and Jenna, how you pronounce your name correctly? Jenna?
uh, I say Jenna. I say it more like American style, I think it is. Jenna is more like the Dutch speak. So
Okay.
it's a little bit of how pronunciation. But I know the both of them. I'm not so difficult about that, but I pronounce it as Jenna. So
Yeah,
and
no,
don't
just
and don't ask me how I choose that name, because it was like I went to City Hall and they say, "What name do you want?" Jenna. It was the first name that shot in my mind, and that was it.
okay. So I mean, I'm
But
curious. Do you? do you get to keep some relationship with people, with your children or young guys from your youth or your
Okay,
childhood?
yeah, yeah, yeah,
You
yeah,
get
yeah.
to keep
Okay,
friends from that time?
yeah, yeah. I lost no friends. Actually, I lost zero friends when I transitioned, because I'm very picky for choosing my friends. When I was young, I choose the friends I knew had. I knew I could trust. I knew how they were thinking, how they felt about those things, and the few I didn't had, what were a little bit difficult about would be difficult. They already left when I married a Moroccan girl. That was like, you married a Moroccan girl, we are gone. No loss over there. So the friends I had still, they all stayed together, and I made a lot of new friends also. So it's like
Uh,
lose some, you win some. That's
yeah,
And the only thing is important is that the friends you have are the correct friends and they support you. And all of my friends support me. That's the
yeah. This
important
is
thing.
the cycle of the life, and lives go on. Yeah,
At the family side, I have still talk to family, but you feel that some of them have it difficult, especially at the Italian side. My nephews, they are very raised Italian, and they are very masculine thinking. They are very alpha dog thinking, and they have difficult with it. One of my nephews also told me one time, uh, for the first time, that I betrayed the manhood. So you see about thinking, but you don't choose your family. So I find friends more important than family.
yeah. Okay, thanks.
Thanks.
Wow, that was great. Jenna, would you mind talking about the relationship that you have with your child or children? Because
I
then,
don't.
yeah, for them was like, okay, we had a dad, now we have a mom. That is
Yeah.
complicated. Would you mind tell
Yeah.
us about that?
Okay, I can tell you about that, but I don't have any children. So
Oh, I thought you said you
no,
had
my
one.
ex-wife has now two children with her new husband.
Okay, okay.
So she
So,
remarried and she has now two children and she visit with those children. But I don't have any children. I would love to have children. That's one of the things I was, even when I was like 5 or 6 years old, I want to have children. I want to have a family. I want a little house, a garden. That was the dream of my perfect life. Not to being a famous person, singer or something. That was the dream of having children, and I tried to have children. I was married twice, so I tried to have children, but my fertility of the English word, I don't know just pronounce it.
fertility.
It's not very high when I was a man, so it was very difficult. But my last wife, we were trying, and normally just before she left, we wanted to go for uh, artificial fertilization to do it, and then some family problems started with her family in Morocco. She distanced herself from me, and at that moment she decided to leave to go back to her family in Morocco. And then COVID hit, and she was stuck in Belgium. Uh, and she went for like five after COVID. She went like for 5 months or 6 months back to her family, but she couldn't live anymore there. She was like, no, that's not for me that lives. She came back. She moved to Liège, uh, and there she found work, and the man and the boss where she worked for married her, uh, and now she has in 1.5 years she had like 2 kids, and I'm happy for her. But like say, I want to have still children. I froze my sperm in before I did my operation. So if I meet a nice girl and she's not too old, for example, we could still have children.
Oh, wow, that's lovely. Jenna, tell us also about traveling. Have you done some traveling, like as a woman, as a man? Have you noticed
Mm,
something, or have you felt any kind of discrimination whatsoever during your traveling?
uh, I traveled only in Belgium at the moment, the last 3 years, 4 years, because I had a lot of operations, and I used all my holidays, vacation days, for recovery periods for my operations. So I stayed a lot of in Belgium, little city trips, like those things. Before that, yeah, I traveled a lot. Each year I went to a different country to visit. When I was married to the Moroccan girl, was each year we went to Morocco for a month, and then we went to in Europe, did city trips of 4 or 5 days in Belgium, Italy, Spain, Germany. We did city trips like those things, France. But at the moment, all my money is sadly going to my operations and paying off the cost of my operations. So it is a little bit difficult to get on a holiday. But at the moment, like my voice operation was the last operation normally I would have. So I hope next year to go to Greece. I take as a really good holiday to relax and do all those.
All
I hope
right,
that
all right.
okay.
It's understandable. It's
Yeah.
understandable. So you can still not compare how it was for you to travel as a man and as a
Not really,
woman.
but it is
Okay.
like I don't feel any discriminations of the places I go. So most people don't even notice that I was a man and before they all
Mhm.
think that I'm a woman. So some people, it's like in the fitness, for example, women that know that I'm a woman, was a man, for example. There's like, oh, I say I cannot keep my weight down. And so, oh yeah, but that's because you have menopause. It's like that they say, oh, no, sorry. They forget that I was a man,
Lovely.
so I don't have a menopause.
Oh, that's great. Okay, I think Meg got ready for a question. Welcome. Please go ahead with your question.
The mic is still off.
Yes, and mute
Okay.
now. Hello, nice to
Yeah.
meet you, Jenna.
I love your
Um,
hair.
Thank you. I just wanna ask. You mentioned that there are a lot of international people in Belgium, like people from abroad, from other countries. So
Yes.
I'm curious more about um, other languages that you hear around you. So, are there many different languages that you hear around you all the time, or you need to go to a specific place
Mm,
to listen to people speaking another language?
no. Like I already told, we are a mining community. A lot of
Mhm.
people who came over here were imported from other countries like Turkey, Morocco, Greece, Poland, Spain, Germany, all across Europe and Africa, those things for working in the mines. So we have a very broad community over here, and you hear a lot of those languages. The street where I live on, I have a Turkish restaurant, Moroccan restaurant, Italian restaurant, Greek restaurants. Uh, so it is a very diverse community. So for hearing different languages, I don't have to go far. The company where I work, a lot of people in the higher functions for engineers are also international expats. Uh, some of the people are even from Brazil, like you, and that's they speak then English. Uh, Also the because if I the only Brazilian people I know all speak perfectly English, so it was a little bit surprising for me to hear last week that so not so many people actually speak English in Brazil, because all the Brazilian people I met are like fluent in English. Like okay, so but that's just because you're expats and those things are higher functions. That's makes a little bit more sense now. Uh,
Uh, if I can just compliment, I just want to know if there are other official languages as well in Belgium.
Okay, yeah, we
Like,
have
yeah,
three official
which
languages:
one? Mhm.
German, French, and Dutch. Dutch is the
Okay.
main, is about 60% or 55% of the people speak Dutch. About, I say 55, yeah, about 40% speak French, and 5% about
Mhm.
that speak German. Uh, and the German part is like 50, 60 kilometers from me away. So it's just a little community, but they have their own government. Each section of Belgium has their own government. We have, I don't know, about 7 or 9 different governments in Belgium. So it's a very complex political system, but we have official 3 different languages. So French, German, and Dutch. I also learned French, German, and Dutch at school. Okay, French I didn't understand anything from, but because the only thing the teacher told me when the French teacher told me one thing, and that was, "You are the worst student I ever had."
How could you understand that? You didn't understand that. You
She
made
told
up.
that in she told that in Dutch.
Oh.
She didn't understood. She put literally her hair out when I had to read French. It was
That's the
You're
French
not
but
the
teacher.
only one. I've heard that story before. Okay, Meg, that was a very good question. Aura is in Portugal and it had to time change and she got a little bit confused with that. So she missed most of the session, but it's no problem. You're ready for a question. Go ahead.
Yeah, so like someone said, I missed half of the thing because I was at work and I got everything mixed up. But I'm gonna ask my generic question because I don't think anybody's asked it yes. I just want to know what the crime rate is like in the area that you speak in the area that you live. There you go.
we speak Dutch where I live, so the primary language where I live is Dutch speaking. But
Yeah,
I
I just
grew
wanted to know about the crime rate in the area that you live.
the crime rate.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't understand the question quite. Maasmechelen has the highest crime rate in Flanders. So because we are one of the poorest communities in Flanders, also we have one of the highest crime rates. But what is high because I feel very safe walking on the street at night. I don't get bothered at night, except from one person that you missed. There's one person in whole Maasmechelen that doesn't like me because I'm transgender, and if he sees me, he goes like, yeah, no, and makes funny faces, and it's like he cannot even look at me. Then he runs to the other side, and there's a guy like 2 meter 10. And it's like funny because small girl, big guy, and he runs away because I'm just transgender. But we have a little bit higher crime rate than average in Belgium because the Maasmechelen is one of the poorest communities. After they closed the mines, all the jobs were gone almost, and the jobs that are there are not very high paid. So, but for overall, it's nice living over here. And anyway, the people are very friendly and helpful because, for example, when I had my operation at my face, I had an operation at my face. Uh, I had a Moroccan older man living beside me, and I came home and I was totally in bandage from the hospital, and he was like, "Oh, what happened?" And I didn't know if he knew I was transgender, so I was like, "I had an accident," and he was like, "Oh my!" And he carried my garbage bin for 3 months up and down the stairs.
Oh, wow, girl, you go for it.
Yeah,
Okay.
my friends say I'm a gold digger.
Oh, okay, Cavallo, last question for today. Please go ahead. Can you please put your mic on?
I
Yes.
was,
Hi.
was curious. You very strong and understanding for people who don't understand your case, and that's strength. How long did it take you to build that, or were you strong already before you? It's like
I
how to
I don't
explain
hear
to
you very
people who
well.
don't understand.
Jenna, he's asking you, how did you become so confident, being so strong and so open and so happy with your situation? He's wondering, how did that happen?
I don't know. That's like I think it was like some blockade before that I hide away, and it's just coming open. And I think a lot have to do because a lot of people supported me, helped me, and all the new people I learned about, they were very helpful, and that was like a very different situation than before. So I think that's a little part of it. But I was always actually very open and friendly. But at the same time, I was like a little wallflower when I was hiding away because I didn't want people like to see me or something like that. But once I transitioned, I was like, poof, that's me. That's I just want to have fun.
Yeah,
I want to
perfect.
make thing. I like to go out. I like to dance. Uh, People sometimes, if I get crazy, I'm like on the stage and dancing all night on the stage, and yeah, and then guys come over me, dance with me, and then some other girl come over me and dance with me, and it's like I'm just more open, and I try to enjoy my life for what it is, because I hide it away for a so long period of my life. I hide it who I was. So I try to enjoy every moment I now have. And that's just fun, just having fun and being who you are. And don't worry about what happens in the future or past. Uh, just be who you are, and everybody will accept who you are.
Yes, I can imagine.
Wow.
Like, yeah, I have
And it
my
helps
my
because
my cousin
and it helps that
in
I'm
a similar
cute.
situation. Yes, my cousin from woman to man made a transgender and came back to Saudi Arabia. He's very strong. He's
Mm,
forcing himself against the religion and the conservative ideas, pushing himself. He's very strong.
yeah, that's
Like,
that's the
yeah,
problem.
you get so
That's the
much
problem.
power to express yourself.
That's a big problem in a society. A lot of transgender persons who transition and detransition. The persons who detransition don't do it because they don't want to transition, but because of the society pressure on them. They want to feel safe. They don't feel safe being themselves, so they go back to hiding them who they are. So they detransition to feel to be safe again. And it's not because of they are not transgender, but that's the society pressure. And those society pressures are here. The Netherlands, Belgium, Germany are much less. They are not like in Saudi Arabia. Those religious countries, they are very strong and very negative. It's like in the USA, you have
Mm.
the whole bathroom discussion. Yeah, but I just go in, I do pee and go out. When I go to the gym and they had a sauna in the locker room, the women over there in the gym said like, "Hey Jenna, come in the sauna," and we were sitting naked in the sauna together. It's extremist thinking. That's the problem in our society, and in Belgium, it's not so much extremist. So
Okay, guys, we just I think we're
Yeah.
gonna have to stop now because it's already 9:05 for me.
yeah,
Jenna, definitely you became a butterfly and you started to fly, 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 and you are beautiful, that's for sure.
I
Okay, I
know.
think just to compliment on the question that the Cavallo asked, that's for sure. When you became yourself, this beautiful butterfly, there's no reason why you couldn't fly and just spread your happiness all around. And this
Yeah, that,
session has been very inspiring because lots
I
of
would.
us, there are so many things that we didn't know that we came to learn from you. And I want to thank you once again for being here with us. And I think
Okay.
everybody else who is here also is going to go home or going to go to bed with a better knowledge about transgenderism.
You could still follow me on TikTok if you want to. I have a TikTok account.
Oh, I will share it. No worries about it. Okay, guys, thank you so much.
You
So
can
with
find me
this,
over there if you want.
yes, with this meeting, we finished our October schedule. I'm going to be sharing November's schedule with you tomorrow. And I hope to see you soon again. Thank you so much for being here. And you all have a great evening,
Bye
right?
bye.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Bye.
guys. Have a
Bye.
great
Okay,
day.
Thank
thank
you,
Bye.
guys.
you.
Bye.
Bye
Bye.
bye bye bye.